Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I will be talking about everything you need to know about GRE. So without further ado, let's get started. So guys, in today's video I will be explaining everything you need to know about GRE, like the structure of the exam, what different sections are there in the exam and what kind of questions are presented in each section, as well as the marking scheme for those sections, and as well as how much duration you will get to solve those questions. And also before going forward, please check out my previous video where I explained in detail what is GRE. You can find the link for the video in the description box below, or the link will be displayed on the screen shortly. So there are three sections in GRE. The first one is analytical writing, the second one is verbal reasoning, and the third one is quantitative reasoning. So the exam structure will be as follows. So the very first section that you will be facing will be analytical writing, where you will be asked to solve two questions. The first question will be analyzing an issue task, and second one will be analyzing an argument task. So following the analytical writing section, you will be either asked to solve two quantitative sections and three verbal sections, or three quantitative section and two verbal section. In either of cases, there is one extra section that needs to be solved apart from two quantitative and two verbal sections. So this extra section is an experimental section that is offered by ETS to test out new strategies and new type of questions that they can introduce in next examination. But you have to compulsorily solve all the sections, and only four sections, that is two quantitative and two verbal sections, are marked, and the third, that optional section, is not marked. Regardless of there being an optional section, you still need to solve all the sections carefully, as you cannot definitively tell the difference between an optional section as well as a marked section. So you need to carefully solve all the sections and attempt all the questions. So the very first section of the exam, that is analytical writing. This section is divided into two different questions. The first question is analyze an issue task, and the second one is analyze an argument task. These both sections are given a duration of 30 minutes each, and the score for this section is given on the scale of 0 to 6. The very first question that comes into your mind when you read analytical writing is that what are we supposed to then do in this section, right? As this section is divided into two parts, that is, first is analyze an issue and second part is analyze an argument, and each section is given 30 minutes each. So basically you are supposed to tackle this task and write your response based on the given instruction for each question. The first question of analytical writing is to analyze an issue. So what does analyze an issue does is it accesses your ability to think critically about a topic of general interest and to clearly express your thoughts about it in writing. Means each issue statement makes a claim that you can discuss from various perspectives and apply to many different situations or conditions. Every issue statement is followed by a specific instructions, and you need to follow those instructions and present your view about those issues. For example, issue task can have a statement similar to the statements you can see on the screen. The very first statement you can see is, as people rely more and more on technology to solve problems, the ability of humans to think for themselves will surely deteriorate. Then this issue statement is followed by a set of specific conditions, such as write a response in which you discuss the extent to which you agree or disagree with the statement and explain your reasoning for the position you take, or similar argument or instruction is given to you. The second question, that is your argument task, is similar to your issue task, as there will be an argument given to you and specific instruction regarding the argument statement. You can pause the screen and read the argument yourself, or I will be just dictating it to you. So the example statement is as follows. In surveys, Mason City residents rank water sports like swimming, boating and fishing among their favorite recreational activities. The Mason River flowing through the city is rarely used for these pursuits. However, and the City Park Department devotes little of its budget to maintaining riverside recreational facilities. For years, there have been complaints from residents about the quality of the river's waters and river smell. In response, the state has recently announced plans to clean up Mason River. Use of river for water sports is therefore sure to increase. The city government should, for that reason, devote more money in the year's budget to riverside recreational facilities. And following this argument, there will be instructions similar to this, like write a response in which you discuss what specific evidence is needed to evaluate the argument and explain how the evidence would weaken or strengthen the argument. So this way, these two statements or two different questions will be presented in front of you for the very first section, that is AWA, or what we call as analytical writing, and you will be given 30 minutes each for this questions and to write your response based on the instructions given for each statement. The tip for the argument task would be to find the flaws in the statement itself. Like here in the example statement, you can see that they say that due to complaints from the residents, the government has announced that they will be cleaning the Mason River, and based on this news, the argument assumes that there will be increase in the use of river for sports, but it is not necessary. Here you can argue based on this point as well, and you can point out many such flaws in the statement itself and use it as your response. The tip for the issue task would be to carefully read the statement, and then within the starting 4 to 5 minutes you can make a list of pros and cons, and then based on the points you can choose a side, that is the positive side or the negative side of the statement, and build up your story from that. In this case, you can see that they are talking about that people relying more on technologies will reduce the capacity of humans to think, or ability of humans to think. So here this will work as a con itself, and you can build up a story based on this, like people using and relying on technology can lead to disasters or can reduce the people's ability to think critically in dire situations, and many more points from this way you can tackle both the issue task as well as argument task, and you are given only 30 minutes, so you will have to think fast and do your best. Then the next section that you will be facing after analytical writing could be either a verbal reasoning section or a mathematical reasoning section. In GRE, based on what set you get, you will get 3 verbal reasoning sections or 2 verbal reasoning sections. and each section is timed at 30 minutes each, and the score is in the range of 130 and 170. Based on your answers for all these sections, that is 3 or 2, you will be scored between 130 to 170. And the range is like this because the questions are marked internally, so you cannot tell which question has 1 mark or which question has more than 1 mark. The questions difficulty changes means dynamically based on your performance in previous section. For example, in the first verbal section that you get, you answered 75% of questions correctly. Then the next verbal section definitely will have questions with higher level. The questions are divided from level 1 to level 5 by the GRE, and you cannot differentiate between these questions while giving the exam. So based on the level of the question, the marks of that questions also varies. So what to expect in the verbal listening section? In this section, there are 3 types of questions that you will be facing. That is, first one is RC or reading comprehension, the second one is text completion, and the third one is sentence equivalence. In the verbal listening section, basically your ability to understand English and comprehend meaning from the sentences is tested. So you'll be asked different types of questions based on paragraph, that is in the reading comprehension section. In text completion section, you will be asked to fill the gaps between the sentences from the given options, like it is a multiple choice question. And similarly, in sentence equivalence, it will be a multiple choice question and answer thing, and you will be asked to choose 2 answers for the same fill in the blanks which have similar meanings. So the very first type of question, that is reading comprehension or RC. There are 3 different types of questions you can expect for this type of question. The very first one will be multiple choice question where you have to select only one answer. Then second will be MCQ only, where you have to choose one or more answers, and the third one would be select in the passage. So first 2 are very easy to understand. So what is this third one, select in the passage? Here you will be asked to highlight a particular part of the paragraph which answers the question. So the second type of question that you will be facing in verbal listening is text completion. Here there are 3 types of multiple choice questions. The very first one is to select only one answer. The second one is to select 2 answers, and the third one is to select 3 answers. And the difficulty of these questions are from top to bottom. That is the very first type of question where you have to select one answer as a lower difficulty, and the second question, that is select 2 answers, as the medium difficulty, and select 3 answers as a higher difficulty. Based on the tip for this section would be that if you are getting multiple select 3 answer type of question, then definitely it means that you have got a difficult verbal section. And if you get this type of questions in the very first section of verbal reasoning, then you can expect that you will get a easier section next time. But it actually depends on how you answer the section. And the last type of question that you will be facing in verbal listening is sentence equivalence. Here on the screen you can see an example for the sentence equivalence, where it is a multiple choice question and you have to select 2 answers from the given 6 options, and there is only one fill in the blank. Here most of the questions regarding sentence equivalence will have similar structure, like they will ask you to select two answers for a single blank space with 6 options. And the main motive of this type of question is we have to find the words that will not change the meaning of the sentence after they have been put in the blank space. Here if we put original and innovative in the blank space, the meaning of sentence does not change, while if we try to put other words like orthodox or eccentric in the same place, the meaning would change. So we need to find two words which will not change the meaning of the sentence. And the very last section now that is remaining, that is quantitative reasoning. So based on which set you get, either you will get 3 quantitative sections or 2 quantitative reasoning sections, and each of these sections will be timed at 35 minutes each. And similar to verbal reasoning, you will be scored between 130 to 170. Then the quantitative reasoning section, what to expect from it, right? So there are basically 3 types of questions that you may face during the exam, that is quantitative comparison questions or MCQ questions or numeric entry questions. So the main aim of this section is to analyze your ability to solve mathematical problems or thinking critically and solving the problems as fast as possible. So the very first type of quantitative reasoning question that I want to discuss is quantitative comparison. The reason being that this type of questions are the most common questions that you will face during the exam. There are 2 quantities, that is quantity A and quantity B. There are 2 equations, that is x and 2x, and there are 4 options to choose from, that is A is greater, B is greater, 2 quantities are equal, and the last one is the relation cannot be determined from the information given. So these are the most common type of questions that you will be facing during the quantitative reasoning section. The second type of question that comes in quantitative reasoning is multiple choice questions or MCQs. There are 2 different types of MCQs that you will be facing in the quantitative reasoning section. The first one is select one answer, and second one is select one or more answers. The next type of question is numeric entry. As you can see an example on your screen is, if x is 10, what is the value of x square? Here you will be given a blank box or a blank space where you have to type the answer for the question. Here the answer would be 100. So this concludes all the types of questions that are asked in GRE based on different sections, that is AWA, verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning. If you have any doubt regarding the questions, structure or anything related to GRE, you can ask your questions in the comment section below. I will be answering your questions in the comment section itself, or I will address those questions in my upcoming videos as well. You can also reach out to me on my Instagram handle to ask your doubts or question related to GRE or any other topic related to masters or higher studies. I will be answering all your questions that are directed to me through comment section or Instagram DMs or in the upcoming videos that I will be posting. So guys, thank you for watching my video, and for more content like this, please like and subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to press on that bell icon so you get notified for every new video that comes up. And also let me know about your views and what type of content you want on my channel in the comment section below.